This week, it's a big one on the LPGA Tour, the CPKC Women's Open from Earl Grey Golf Club in Calgary. 73 of the top 100 players in the race to the CME Globe season standings are in the field, highlighted, of course, by Canadian Brooke Henderson. Bob, you're on your way to Calgary to cover the CPKC Women's Open. You've obviously covered it a number of times now, and you've called it Brookapalooza. What's the atmosphere like when you see fans and everyone following Brooke Henderson?
I go back to about 3 years ago in Ottawa on Sunday morning. Brooke was, I think, teeing off probably tied for 45th, and she had the largest crowd of any person who was there before her or after her. She is just a superstar in this country in terms of attraction for old golfers, young golfers, very young golfers, women golfers, male golfers. She's does such a good job with her game, with her personality, with signing autographs. It's a little tough to sort of imagine that she can win this tournament again. I know she's capable of it, and she's done it obviously before. But to try and put everything that she has to do aside and focus on her golf game, it's tough. She's got a good system in place. She learned from Mike Weir. You have to say no to a lot of things, but there's still a lot of engagements. It's just a much different week than she has anywhere else. And this is a tournament that's near and dear to her heart that she wants to win. But it's hard, and we know that she's playing good golf. If she could find a putter that would work for her, that would be even better. So I mean, she can ride the fans' hope. That's one thing she has learned to do, is not to worry about the pressure of the fans, instead to use that as support. So we'll see what she does.
Mark, she's had a good year so far. What are your expectations for Brooke this week?
I mean, it's so tough. I use this term all the time. I sound like a broken record, but victim of her own success, right, guys? I mean, by all accounts, she's still having a decent year. She's sixth in LPGA scoring, so it's not like she's not putting good numbers on the board. The number that scares me the most, you got to go back to April to find a top five. We've got one top 10 in the last six starts. So, yeah, making cuts, playing okay, but just not contending. I just love to see her in the mix on Sunday. To Bob's point, winning with all these distractions, winning with everything going on, it's tough. She uses the crowd, to Bob's point. That's an asset if she can take that emotional lift. I think it would be a successful week for Brooke if she was just in the mix. Just give that crowd on Sunday a chance to yell and holler, and TV fans at home to get on the edge of their couch. I think that alone, just doing that, whether the outcome is favorable or not, would be a great week for Brooke.
It certainly would be, for sure. Now, a lot of great players in the field this week, Bob, including Lexi Thompson, who is retiring at the end of the year. What do you think the reception is going to be for Lexi this week?
Oh, yeah, it's her farewell tour. She'll get a good reception. She's a very popular player. I think deservedly so. She hasn't played all that well in the last little while. Still trying to find that winner's circle maybe one more time before she retires. But for a lot of years, she was the face of American golf. She sort of blossomed at the same time as the international crowd started coming over to the LPGA Tour. There were a lot of players from a lot of different countries who were playing very, very well. And the Americans were really kind of a little bit low at that point, and she stood out. And I mean, she was playing in the U.S. Open when she was 12, so she's had a long career already. So it's not, I don't think there's anything strange about her retiring at 29. She's played a lot of golf. It's basically all she's ever done. And as she said, it can be a lonely tour out there. When you're on that tour, you're traveling week to week. It's hard to keep up with your relationships with your friends, with relatives. It's a lot to ask, and I think she's probably just had enough. I think you'll see her play golf again. I don't know what that'll look like, but this will be likely her farewell performance at the CPKC Women's Open.
What we do know is she'll definitely be a captain on the U.S. Solheim Cup team at some point in the future. Now, earlier we spoke about Brooke Henderson. When we come back here on GTC, one of the many Canadians in the field, well, she'll join us after the break. That's Elena Sharp. She'll join us next right here on Golf Talk Canada.